What the heck is this? Machina RB. I think that there's a quantity of 6 cards in nearly every person's deck that shuts down a rogue deck. And that is going to be Droll, Maxi, Foolos. Most rogue decks do not have good answers to that quantity of 6 cards. And that's what I see right now, a Foolos. Now, thankfully, we're going first, so the Foolos is going to be rendered useless. But then there's another issue with rogue decks where they're probably not very good going second unless they're built to go second. Let's see how well Slayton does with that downside of going second, or otherwise would have to deal with the Foolos. Machina is here with the Gadget Trio. Hajime.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
K9 Mitsurugi, very interesting. I feel K9 has replaced Mitsurugi for the most popular engine to tech in any deck due to the Prayer's nerf being limited to 1. Wow. That was really bad. Not our fault, of course, but if this is what we're going to end on, now this is good because if they activate something from the hand or grave, it could still Lupus no rank 5, but that was at the cost of Foolos. And I just got done saying how powerful Foolos is. All right, let's see. Now, this is public knowledge. I talk about seeing hand, having hidden information revealed to you increases your skill ceiling way up for you to now know to not play around those cards correctly. So if Slayton could perfectly change up his play to not activate from the hand or grave, that's going to be ideal. Sky Striker is going to be a 1-card RB play. What is a 1-card RB? Any way to get 2 machines on the field. This is why they're playing Orcus. Orcus summons the token, the Gursu. We have Kagari add back. We didn't want to Ash the Engage, which I think is correct against this deck. I would be ashing the effect to summon from the deck. Hayate, are we going to the battle phase of this? Okay, Machina Gear Frame. Now we're ashing the Gear Frame. We know the Gear Frame was searching for what? For the Fortress. Oh my Jesus, we don't want to be dealing with that. Now with 2 machines, we're able to make our Vulcan Booster. Vulcan Booster grabbing the stage landing. This is a card I would be ashing. Summon from the deck. Doc, again, searching for the landing. And as I was saying, you droll them, they're in big trouble. You would have drolled them way long ago on the engage. They wouldn't be able to boost, search. We have the Lambda Blade, as we're now going to Vulcan Boost, reborn a monster from the graveyard back. This is going to be further adding a monster engraved back to the hand. Which one looks the hand? This one does. Konami's loving this mechanic. Lambda Cannon. If linked with an RB, look at the opponent's hand, and then you could special summon a monster, but it will be negated. Further come forth, we now have the ability to pop 2 cards on the field and inflict some burn damage. We now have the Operation Test Report. What the heck happened? That was a pretty good turn too. What the heck? Huh, so much for rogue decks not having a good, I mean, let's be real. We ended with 0 disruption. Well, we ended with Ash. That's it. No, we didn't have a real turn 1 board. We super bricked. Okay, we have better hand. We got Jokel. Holy moly, Ash. So this could be that mindset of, remember I just said with Bonfire? If you already had Jokel in hand, do you have an anti-droll play? Yes. You Jokel, reveal, you summon, you don't search with Jokel, you make a Ripper, and now you can negate Droll. So if they had a way to play around Droll, would you ever initiate with Case for K9? That'd be a really bad idea. You don't want to get hit. You're not going to be able to search with Ripper, can't search with Jokel, can't search with Lantern. You're shutting off 3 big searches by initiating this as your first turn play right away. Thus, that gives you additional information on their hand being bad of maybe I should negate this. Now, again, in a vacuum, you wouldn't want to negate this if used differently in the turn, but if it's their opening play, probably the best thing we could have done here. Jokel and Lantern searching for the Azuna, because what is Ash now going to do? If I reveal Jokel and you have Ash, can you do anything? Whoa, we could have negated there, but then now the Ripper's going to get a boosted search, or the Ripper's just going to negate the Ash. We're now screwed. We're in big trouble. Searching for Maxi this late, not worth it. I am not discarding my hand. Cyanos is discard a spell to special summon. Cyanos is great in RB. I've had some experience with her. She summons the Rose, then when she's in the graveyard, she can then summon Rose again onto the field. The biggest downside of the Cyanos is she is not a Sky Striker ace. And I believe these have the restrictions where you need to use an ace to summon, right? Yeah, so if we read, let's say, Kagari, Sky Striker ace monster, while the Cyanos is a Sky Striker, doesn't have the ace portion, thus they can't go into the minimal links. It is dependent on the Rose actually being on the field alongside it. Now, this is a crazy field. We have Hand Trap Negate, Make Them Discard Mate, Little Knight Double Banish, Negate anything with Purification, non-target pop a card, pop another monster, or banish a card from the hand. About 7 Disruption. Can RB play through that? We'll see. The Rose could turn herself into a machine, which would then go into the double machine RB play. Thus, we're just going to get Banishing right away. Now, I believe the Cyanos could summon a banished Rose, right? Let me double check this, because this is an important thing to understand here if you're playing against this deck. You're gonna banish this card from the grave, take your Rose that is banished, or in your grave, and then special summon it. So even, it looks like now, because it has that effect, that means we banished the wrong card, right? We should have banished the Cyanos, which is now gonna get that +1 effect. Now, because our field is so broken, it doesn't matter. We also have the Ripper that could just negate the Cyanos in graveyard. And this is the issue with having too much disruption turn 1. It takes away skill expression on even properly thinking on how to use our negates, because it turns into just negate every single activation and you can't be wrong. All right, add back, reborn, wipe away the fields, pop them, bop them, thrust into the, what? This is actually gonna work? Pay half your life, destroy the entire field of monsters, then special summon one of their monsters. Where's our negate? What did we negate with Purification? What the heck? Oh my Jesus. Let's go. Illusion Gate. Now, we're banishing cards we do not want them to steal. We don't want, or they're just gonna at least come back in the end phase, which is a more meaningful reason to banish them. The Hound can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. Let's go. Let's wipe away, banish, and then destroy their field. The Little Knight was made with Masquerena. We're stealing their Masquerena. Cyanos. Now, the Ripper was supposed to negate this, which wouldn't have been a problem if we just banished this with the Little Knight. Rose is here. We're at 0 Disrupt. Slayton, pop off, my friend. Let's go. Send Engage, add Engage back with Kagari. I could not believe this. We had 7 Disruption, and that well-played Illusion Gate broke through it. We now have our Dark Magician Girl grabbing the Shining Sarcophagus. This thing is getting permanently boosted, and it's only indestructible the turn it's summoned. Otherwise, on the next turn, if we have a way to destroy it, that'd be the way to play it. Gandorji could destroy the entire field. Unfortunately, it doesn't just banish, thus the Hound will remain. How do we play around the Hound? Let's make the Barricade board blocker. We have 2 machines on field, so now Brute Blues. Activate to search our deck for the Dock Field spell. With the Dock Field spell, we grab the Stage Landing. Stage Landing is going to summon from the deck into the Lambda Cannon. Don't we have an effect that could take control of this? Yeah. Pay 1,400, target a monster the opponent controls, take control. What am I missing? Oh crap, it's only during the opponent's main phase. That's a big thing to miss. Whoops. Booster's gonna add another dock from the deck. That thing is huge. Further reborn the Lambda Cannon. Now we're gonna be adding back to the hand the Driller. As we're special summoning the Driller, let's now make the Crook. Crook will set a trap from the deck as we then time out. No. We had this still. Slayton, all is good, my friend. Just being able to break their board, that was great. I guess the Hound was really unexpected. Damn. Hound was popping off like an insane amount. Did not have Lupus under it, thus it was targetable. It normally would be untargetable. Very interesting duel. Let's hop in a game number 3. We have Doc searching for a card as we now summon our Brute Blues to further search for a card. We're going to send Operation Test, grab the Clockwork Knights. We're going to be reborning the Driller. Ooh, destroy their card. This doesn't destroy. I thought it was a Dark Hole. Nope, it's a Raigeki. Only your opponent's monsters do you destroy, and then we take their Noroi. What the hell? We got the Barricade Blocker. Discard the Clockwork Knight. Because you could do that, I like Illusion Gate in this deck a lot now. Damn, I now want to play this. I thought, you know, this is just a generic board breaker we're tossing in our deck because it's great. It's so much more than that. It's like the Mimigol situation also with Thrust. Well, I mean, we can't really get them to activate a card, but if they do activate a hand trap, then you now summon a body on their field. Your Thrust now gets a search. Whole much. We could take control. We can negate anything. One of these can negate a monster effect. We have the Ash negate interaction of the deck. The other one could summon any of the other RBs in the field, which could destroy a card on the field or a spell and trap card negate. I believe this is a spell and trap card negate, or is that another one? Yeah, it's another card. But they do have to be pointing to, or have an RB pointing to them to get their effect. The hidden card is cross out designate, so we don't know that our Ash is about to be negated. Mitsurugi Ritual, summon from the hand, which plays around the Ash. Dimensional Barrier. I didn't see that. My mind was thinking that it was just an RB card. What the freaking hell? Ritual monster selected. We definitely don't play that. Summon for the deck, Saji. Saji Trigger, grab Prayers, limited to 1, by the way. Prayers gonna be tributing off to further search for the Kusanagi. We could summon the Saji or Kusanagi in the field. Habikiri searching for the Murakumo Kusanagi, add back from the engrave our Prayers, which are already activated. Now Lambda's gonna steal the Kusanagi. Trigger in the field's about to summon for the deck. This is a spell and trap card negate. Next phase is going to be a monster negate. Negate and destroy the Lantern Mates. Set 3 pass. Purification is only if we have a level 5 or higher reptile. We don't. Now, we could if the Habikiri was properly summoned, which it was not. So absolutely not gonna work. We're gonna use the Cutter to completely negate the Prayer's Mate. By destroying itself, that will further trigger the field spell to summon a monster from the deck. So you gotta be thinking, why are more people not playing this deck? I think it just pretty much comes down to how much it loses to Droll and Lockbird. And I would say it doesn't have a good play against Maxi or Fualos. So the big 6 cards in quantity of 6, where it's just 3 different cards, which shuts down a deck like this. And Konami made sure to not make a search a quick effect, not be able to add from the graveyard instead or set from the deck. There's no reason why the field spell should not be playable from the deck instead of searched for to play into a Droll. Except if by intention they wanted this deck to lose to Droll. But boy, when we don't have Droll, this deck pops off like crazy. And the summon restriction is quite interesting. The summon restriction states that it's perfected to a point where you could still summon Sky Strikers, but otherwise you can't summon anything else. You cannot special summon from the extra deck except monsters that are 1500 or less a machine. So it's not just a machine restriction. You cannot special summon for the extra deck the turn, not the rest of the turns. You can't summon beforehand. And then machine 1500 or less, and all the Sky Striker links are 1500 or less. Well done, Slayton. 2-1 victory, loved it. Thank you, thank you. Let's go. Let's go. Rico on summon, adding a Rotary. Now, if we were to get Drolled here, we would at least be able to Triple Tactics Talent, return a card back. I think Triple Tactics Talent stocks are way up, especially if you're playing Cool Tune yourself. It's way too good to not play. Let's grab a Q. And I've been saying, if Maker and Rotary resolve, and you did nothing beforehand, you lose. That's it. It's over. Even if you have Imperm, even if you have Valor, even if you have Ash in response, it's done. There's no way you could win outside a crazy exception. And we've seen a crazy exception. A crazy exception was after that is resolved because they looked at your hand and the top card of your deck and then was able to add 2 cards. The exception was they were able to summon a Lupus, turn the Lupus into a Typhon. And because they had an Ash Blossom in their own grave, the remix now became 3,000 attack and was no longer activatable due to the boost of its own effect. Fusion Deploy. Branded in white in response, we're going to remix. This is now a potential situation where the Zalin may want to negate the brand in white. We could chain link block this by chaining the Serenir. So we got to think here. Do we want to do that? And this is what I love about interacting with your opponent. We have choices. Do we chain link block the Zalin? Let's see. We don't. So we made that choice. We could have stopped this, but we didn't. Now, by stopping it, it would then later be activatable on something else. So if we're thinking, negate this now, then the rest of my cards will not be negated, sure. My Thrust will now be activatable. I could add a spell to the hand. Now we got back to back. This is not any card activation, it's only our monsters. So we know we could safely Thrust, can't chain, we could grab a triple tactics talent, we could even take control of it, and then the back-to-back is yours before it's even activatable. So if we really want to lean on our spell cards only with the back-to-back, that would be the way. But we don't do that. We play into the back-to-back. Only if we activate a monster effect can they even do anything. They're going to be targeting a banished card or engrave, able to summon it or add to the hand, and then optionally be able to synchro summon on resolution. Now with Rico, you don't have to synchro with it right away with the remix or the back-to-back because it could grab a clip. With the clip, we could then synchro with the Rico. And because of that, with the remix, you can grab back an Ash Blossom, grab back a Veiler, and then have the Rico by itself perform its synchro, as the RS is now here, ready to negate a spell and trap card in the field. Now RS is going to be used for the branded fusion. We're saving it for that. Thrust, negating the Thrust. Now, what if he had a branded fusion on top of that? I believe he probably was just going to be searching it. Negate the Thrust, scoops it up. I mean, we saw the hand, right? We gotta remember, we saw the hand. What was the hidden card that we didn't see? Nothing, because Q saw the top card of the deck also, right? Did their deck shuffle after? We had 100% information, I believe. Yep. We saw that they had deployment. They're going to draw into it. And this is where the guesswork is just removed from the duel. It is an unfortunate aspect. That does suck. Not cool. Let's go. Deploy. Ash negates against a branded deck. May, are you out of your damn mind? Oh my Jesus. We're going to thrust set a card into the back row though. Grab the flame. Wow, it worked. It absolutely worked. Just YOLO Ash the first card. Now, it's normal Veiler, Synchro with Bell. I think a lot of people wouldn't even question it. They would think that, oh, it's the effect of Maker that could use the hand, right? As long as you do it with confidence, I'm sure your opponent won't call a judge or question you. Titanclad, Malulu, as we're going to negate you. What's great about the Malulu being negated is it's a quick effect. We're going to use it again during the next turn. Thus, this is why you'd want to play this over a Lucius, which then gets negated and is done. The Flame, we have the ability to draw a card here, summon the Quem, dump, and Albaz. Albaz now, if you move a card from the action deck, it's going to reborn and non-target fuse with your field. You also have the Super Poly. You absolutely can't do this unless the opponent says, I want to end my main phase. That was it. So we're trying to do a turn pass, we're trying to trick them. We tricked them, because we need triple tactics talent to be activatable only if they activate something in the main phase. Well done. Get the draw for Maxi, draw or steal, or look at the hand with the triple tactics talent. Our Thalion can recycle a hand trap if we have one in the grave. We don't. Our Thalion, recycle Malulu to be discarded with the Super Poly or the Albaz. It's further set. Set. And now we have the Q. Now, before we initiate with the Q, do we want a triple tact? No, we're going to use the triple tactics as the follow-up instead. Rico on summon, come to me, Rotary. Damn. That's a super blowout. The Q is supposed to almost guarantee that we're going to be able to sync with the Rotary. A lot of you, if you're losing a Cool Tune and not playing Super Poly, I don't want to hear it. Play it. Oh, they look at your hand. So what? That if you have your own tuner and they play with only one card in the field, you could then synchro with their one card, and then they're gonna be almost screwed. They're gonna have to play off of just the clip beyond that. Rotary, additional summon with the Bale, somehow was still able to make the Maker with the Rotary plus a level 3 tuner. No other way to stop it. Now, had we had the other Dracotail card to return it back, it could have been stopped. We have the Guiding Quem being negated on trying to reborn the Albaz. No fusion summon for you. Really good discipline on the triple tactics talent, holding it for the last possible moment. Grabbing the Cold Tune field spell, which allows an additional summon here. Flame, negate. Just like that, mate. Triple tactics talent, we're going for that draw 2 play. The ability to additional summon's gone, and hey, it's that card that I believe the ban list is going to limit to 1 that we now hard drew, and we're going to possibly now break their field with it. Otherwise, we're going to end our turn. Or, you know, the Maker could at least be synchroning with a mix or another card that we draw into. Out of nowhere, off the top of the deck, ain't no way. Remix is here, ready to make plays on the opponent's turn. Remix has no beneficial effect on your own turn. It's not able to reborn and synchro. This does get to recycle back a hand trap, though. If we want to add back Ash, summon Rico. Rico search for clip. We now have Ash, and then Rico plus the clip's going to make their own play. Oh boy, what now? Can we in any way return this back in the extra deck? Is there something? We have our own Dracotail Horn. Horn could return this back, and then we could super poly them again. Dump the Grand Granule, grab the Cartesia. We have Albaz engraved, thus this will be a special summon. Remix, as I said, recycle back the Ash Blossom. Did not summon a Rico, though. Interesting. Double Maker. What the make? Okay. Let's trigger the effects. We're not going to be spinning a card in the grave back in the deck. We're going to be searching for a spell to be used on the follow-up turn. Does not want them to have Illusion Gate. What the Illusion Gate's going on today? More than one person on Illusion Gate in the main. Something you would expect to only see in a TCG side deck. Grand Granule triggering, summon the Coritis. Now under, did you see that? His deck shuffled after summoning from the extra deck. What the heck? That would not happen in the TCG. We're manipulating the top card of the deck. He used an effect that could summon from the deck or extra deck, but didn't touch the deck, and the deck still shuffled. What? We have Summon, Alubur. I was gonna say it was old Master Duel code that did that. Let's brand it in white, banish in the graveyard, circumventing the Ash Blossom completely. Essentially, we have a pseudo-branded fusion without getting hit by the Ash. Clip plus Maker and Maker goes into the back-to-back. Trigger the Maker to non-target bounce a card on the field. We are now going to Albion, non-target banish, chain the back-to-back to add back Bell to the hand as we then Veiler the Mirror Jade. Oh my Jesus. How did this happen? This is all because the overtake? Overtake randomly drawn off of the triple tactics talent. How do we break their board? 3,200. Bounce back Coritis. Now, if you're returned back in the extra deck, the Coritis and the Mirror Jade, they won't trigger. Albion, attempt to set or search. You're not choosing on activation, thus it's either or. We're going to negate. Unfortunate. Let's see. What do we have here? The Mirror Jade already activated. Cartesia could fuse into what? What the heck are we doing? I think we're pretty much done. Or no, we negated. Correction. We did get negated. Back-to-back's going to chain. We don't have another negate on the Mirror Jade mate. Reborn back the Maker. Maker's going to trigger. Activate, search the deck. Do we have another back-to-back on our extra deck? We do. So we could very easily just summon another back-to-back. Cool Tune, Synchro. I think a good way to learn decks is to, what do they say in Star Wars? The Sith deals in absolutes. You want to create an absolute statement to showcase your knowledge of a deck. And here's an absolute statement. You can never make a back-to-back with a card in your hand plus any of the non-synchro cool tunes on field. So a Q plus a card in the hand will never make a back-to-back. Rico will never make back-to-back with a card in the hand. The only way to make a back-to-back with a card in the hand has to be through only a maker and no other non-synchro on field. That's that. So all the people that have been trying to do that, maybe you could just remember that absolute. You will no longer make that mistake. We have the clip triggering, banishing the Garura randomly. Mix on summon, grab back the Rico. Let's further turn this into a Zalin. Zalin plus level 3 is going to be a back-to-back, our second copy. And then the ability to attack everything on the field. Our recycled back Ghost spell with the back-to-back. Damn. It started with our Thalion. Recycling back Maxi, recycling back Ash. Now we got back-to-back. Is this a new fun mechanic that Konami has introduced in Yu-Gi-Oh! The modern decks are just reusing their freaking hand traps. RS, negate the ability to change the attack to 0 mate. Reborn, no effect. Double 7,400. Insane. 13,000 times 2. 28,000 damage on the field. Style points. He really doesn't need this. What are you doing, mate? Oh my Jesus. Ain't no way. How big is this? Double 83 double attack each. And I think this all pretty much stemmed off of us randomly drawing. It was this far back? How far back? Yeah, the triple tactic sound drew into the overtake. And this is it. How long ago was that? This changed the entire duel. 2-0. Let's go.